everybody was required to stream for a tournament in Discord, and then some people were looking at other people's screens and having like an advantage over different people. And obviously that's not a good look, no matter how you put it. But I guess my question is, should Illuvium come up with a set of rules and a set of standards so that whenever these tournaments are played, that there are rules to go by, so that there's no cheating involved, so that whether Hype throws a tournament or any other tournament or any other guild throws a tournament, that everybody's kind of on the same playing field there. Paz, why don't we start with you? Who should come up with this first of all? Should it be a thing on the DAO from the team? And should everybody comply with the same rule set?
Yeah, I definitely think that's a good idea because we need some standardized rules, especially if we give out sponsorships or sponsoring from Illuvium. It should definitely have some fixed rule sets. And yeah, it was a little bit of, I mean, they tried their best, right? I got to give them that. But it got exploited somewhat that people were stream sniping, watching other people's stream. Anyway, they went just, everybody was streaming in the Discord, right? So everybody could stream snipe each other, which would be okay if they made clear rules about it. That's the real problem I have with it. They didn't say it's explicitly allowed or prohibited, which means this created this gray zone where it seemed like insiders from Hype were stream sniping a lot and everybody else didn't know what's the deal with it. So they should have just come in with it and said either it's forbidden. Actually, nobody would have done it because there is too much risk for just so little gain, and nobody would have cheated the system, I believe. Or just say everybody can do it. That gives a little bit of a disadvantage to people without second screens, without good internet, good computers, and so on. But yeah, there would have been better ways to deal with it. I think they learned from it, and they're going to do it next week. But yeah, if we had standardized rules across the board, then this wouldn't happen in the future. So I'm all in favor for that. To the question, who should come up with it? Should somebody be with a lot of experience? I would say Viper is definitely the best candidate since he has spent his whole life in esports. He's our esport guy, but yeah, he didn't get onto IMC again, which we're gonna come back to it later.
Yeah, and I wasn't too much involved in any of this at all. I just saw some chatter on X, so I figured I'd throw it up here to talk about. But yeah, I didn't realize that there was it just wasn't even. Obviously, you could screen snipe because it was on Discord, but I didn't know that it wasn't said, oh, you can't do it. I mean, I guess that's a little different because, yeah, if that was just part of their rules, even though you could do it anyways, then I could understand catching people doing it should get them banned or disqualified or something like that. But I guess that rule just wasn't in place at all.
Yeah, and that just makes it, I mean, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they just forgot about this. But yeah, it just looks unprofessional, unsportsmanlike. And yeah, I hope we don't have this again. And yeah, it would be good if there would be rules in place for this.
Yeah, again, I don't know too much about Hype or anything, but did they come back and say that maybe next tournament they'll make that a rule, like you can't screen snipe, or are they kind of just allowing it?
I'm sure they heard the backlash on X because also, right, the Viper posted this in the first place, and then a lot of people sided with him, and a lot of people got offended and attacked, mainly the organizers who thought it was like a direct attack. Maybe he could have worded it a little bit better, but the fact is his criticism was valid. And yeah, so I think they heard him, they heard the other community members, and I very much think it's going to be fixed next weekend, or this weekend, rather.
Yeah. And I saw a little bit of that back and forth on X. I think it's just everybody's a little frustrated right now because, the market's down, things aren't going perfect. And that's probably what that was coming from. But Jimbo, what are your thoughts on the situation?
So was there a prize pool provided ILV by Illuvium?
Yeah, they have a weekly prize pool of 7.5 LV, and then the main prize pool of the finals will be 100.
That makes me side with Viper a little bit more, I guess. But I mean, both people probably could have acted a little bit more professional, or both sides. I think it's hard to even have a competitive game with any kind of agency on the internet if you're going to stream it without having a delay. I mean, if you're not trying hard enough if you're not cheating, you know what I mean? If you're giving people an opportunity to cheat, they're going to. You know what I mean? So definitely there should have been a rule that people would have been kicked immediately if someone was found viewing someone else's screen share. But even regardless, they shouldn't be screen sharing on the Discord to begin with. They should be streaming on Twitch with a delay. I don't understand why that's even a thing, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
It-
I hosting the Inferno, we've made really bad decisions too before, right? So it's just another learning experience. I don't think people should be getting their panties in a bunch. I think Viper's just an extremely competitive player, and then Hype, they just want to, they just want to protect their integrity, which I think both sides could have without making it drama. As you said, I think just with the markets down, everybody's feeling like they're on their periods, I guess. But it could be worse. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
I
didn't even
think
think
we
about
need
that.
a. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can you do put a delay on Discord stream?
no.
I
Um,
doubt it.
but there is other options, right? If you want to make it properly competitive, like we did with Phantom tournaments and also with Inferno tournaments, we've seen that you can use VOD Ninja, VDO Ninja, which is just a little bit more to set up, but then you can make it work that way. I mean, in the end, we're all waiting for finally having a spectator
I was about to say
mode
that.
in Illuvium, and then we can finally host professional tournaments. I'm a little bit sad that the team hasn't pushed for more PvP and esports and stuff like this, but we're still early and other things need to be polished. So it's, I guess, not yet on the priority list, but I hope it comes very soon.